Hello and welcome to the Michelin Motorshow updates here on PowerDrift, and we're zooming in to the Paris Motorshow 2018. And I've got a question for you. Which came first, the Mercedes ML or the BMW X5? Glenn has the answer.
When he means the ML, he's talking to a time where you needed an Enigma machine to decipher Mercedes' nomenclature. Not anymore. The ML is effectively what the GLE is today. So the X5, I believe came first?
No, it did not.
What?
No, that's the real surprise. It was the ML that came first by a couple of years. But that's exactly it. BMW's X5 owned and dominated that space. It got the sport into the sport utility vehicle bang center, didn't it?
Absolutely. The X5 was officially, or unofficially rather, the first sporty SUV. So if you like sporty SUVs, you have the X5 to thank. And if you don't like sporty SUVs, then you know who to blame.
Well, the X5, it was the SUV that made it clear that SUVs aren't about going off-road and getting dirty and mucky. It's about being convenient to drive on-road. And with this generation, things are changing a bit. It is a SUV that is now focusing more towards luxury, like all luxury cars. And so you see that in the dimensions. It's become longer, it's become wider, it's got a longer wheelbase, so it's obviously looking to pamper its occupants that much more. But on the outside, if we stick to what it's looking like, it definitely looks very imposing.
It does have some interesting design elements. I like the little blue inserts that you have there with the little X's and the wheels
in the headlamp,
as well,
right?
In the headlamp cluster. Overall, I think it's still arguably looks very X5-like.
It looks more crisp, the lines are more defined, but it still reminds you of the first and second gen X5s. But there's this one feature when it comes to the design that we just loved. Both of us agree on this. The split tailgate.
At least to my knowledge, it's the first time I'm seeing this application at BMW, or maybe it reeks a little bit of Rolls-Royce.
So the split tailgate quite simply is, instead of just having one boot opening which opens upwards, it's split into two parts, right? One part folds down, and it's a very simple thing, right? We've seen it on Range Rovers. It just gives it a kind of like a party feel. You just park out there, it becomes like a bench for you to sit on. That adds a dose of practicality to the package, and if you talk about practicality, the boot space is 645 litres. If you fold the second row down, you have 1860 litres, and the second row can be split 40, 20, 40, so you can configure it how you want.
But the real focus with the new X5, ladies and gentlemen, is really on luxury. I'm talking about nice, more plusher seats. You get 4-zone climate control. You even have 10.2-inch HD touchscreen displays for passengers in the rear. It also comes with a whole host of other party tricks. My favorite is the Sky Lounge feature. It looks like a derivation from Rolls-Royce, but essentially the panoramic sunroof, which is now 30% bigger, may I add, comes with these little LEDs that can be configurable up to 15,000 different patterns to replicate the night sky.
Talking about glass and fancy glass pieces, for the driver, he gets treated to a new gear lever which has this very cool glassy effect. We've seen the crystal gear lever on the Volvos earlier, and now we get something pretty cool here on BMWs. And of course, being a BMW, it looks quite techie cool. That's not the only piece of tech that they've given in there to, you know, kind of thrill your senses, because then you have a Bars and Wilkins 1500 watt audio system with what, 20 speakers?
It comes with the ambient air package that infuses and ionizes the air with 8 selectable ambient smells for your car. Which again, very impressive, but...
Stop! Too much luxury, I think, has happened. We have to move to driving.
This is where there is good news. This is still a
Awesome.
BMW at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, and performance is where this thing excels. The range-topping BMW X5, the M50D, comes with a quad-turbo 3-litre 6-cylinder diesel engine that produces 400 horsepower and 760 Newton-meters of torque, which is good enough to propel this car from 0 to 100 in 5.2 seconds.
this thing weighs about what, over 2.2 tons?
Yeah.
That's crazy. You're doing it
That's sports car fast.
diesel, right? In a world where diesel has become like a bad word, we have like a wild diesel coming in here. I don't know if this is going to come to India, but what will surely come to India is the X5 30D, which is still the 3-liter 6-cylinder engine. We're talking about 265 horsepower and 620 Newton meters of torque. That's lesser than what the M5 gets, but it still does 0 to 100 in 6.5 seconds. That's the claim time from BMW. While the X5 was all about on-road performance and really making it fun to drive on-road, they've gone out to make the X5 better off-road as well. You can see it with the tech on offer. You have air suspension on both the axles, so you can raise the ride height, so you can get better ground clearance for off-road. And they even have an off-road package that improves the protection for the underbody, for the front and rear of the vehicle, and you have electronically controlled diff locks now. So definitely going off-road, the new X5 should be more capable there as well.
So with that, there you have it, folks, the brand new BMW X5. What do you think about it? It's more luxurious, it's more powerful, and it also now offers more off-road tech. I, for one, am pretty impressed. What about you?
I am. The question for me that remains is, what does it feel like to drive on-road after all of these changes that are happening to it, right?
Yeah, stay tuned to us here at PowerDrift to find out the answer to that question. But we have a lot more coming your way from the world of motorcycles and cars, so stay tuned. My name is Glenn. This is Karthik. Catch you on the other side.